This is interesting that the Super Bowl is in Vegas. Every day is a big day in Vegas. There's something going on. Do you notice anything different about this last few days?
No, honestly, Bob, not just yet. I'm assuming by tonight and tomorrow it's going to be a little different. This actually kind of takes me back to when you, Brunt, and I did the
The
Mayweather
fight?
Pacquiao fight, yeah, and the
Yeah.
Mayweather McGregor. You're kind of waiting for it all week, and then Thursday the creatures start to arrive, and then Friday it's kind of game on. So I'm assuming by tonight it's uh it's really going to feel like Vegas on steroids.
So if you were on UNLV campus, that means you were out at the 49ers practice facility for this week.
Not necessarily. The UNLV football stadium is down in Henderson, is it not?
Well, where they've put the Niners up at the facility, and the issue has become their playing surface. They only
Right.
put a layer of grass last week
Right.
over the turf, and I don't know too much about this, but they put a rating on grass, etc. And the regular standard is in the high 70s or 80s. That's what you want. And the bare minimum is around 50. And I guess this surface is around 50. And so the San Francisco people understandably have been slighted by it. And then Thursday morning, at like 6, the fire alarm goes off at the San Francisco team hotel. Now, I'm not saying Taylor Swift's people were behind it, but certainly some of the Niners players are like, we didn't think that was an accident. So they're a little irritated by how some of the things have gone, because Kansas City folk get the brand new sparkling Raiders facility to work out of, with all the amenities.
Which I assume is just the difference between being the NFC team and the AFC team. I would think. Is that as
That's it.
simple as the decision?
Yeah,
But
the AFC team is the host team, so they
right.
get the Raiders facility, and the NFC team is over at UNLV.
But Christian McCaffrey can't be complaining about turf because he's the best running back in the game, and Samuel's one of the best scat backs in the game. They still have enough enough things going their way to win the game, don't they?
John, it's a good question. It's a good point. I just think so much of Sunday now comes down to Kyle Shanahan having to get over himself, getting over the fact that he blew 28-3 as the play caller in Atlanta, and getting over blowing a double-digit fourth quarter lead to Kansas City 4 years ago at the Super Bowl in Miami. And he had this line. He said yesterday, I just don't want regrets. And he said, I want to do everything that makes sense to myself, that makes sense to our team. So you bring up Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
If you don't want regrets and you want to do the things that make sense, when you get the ball in the red zone, if you get the ball inside the 10, Kyle, you don't need to show everybody how innovative your playbook is. See ball, hit ball, hand the ball off to CMC and just let him blast between the tackles or run off tackle. This is, if you don't want regrets, this is where just, you can go back to basic football and get into the end zone.
How much do you think teams are working on important things this week? I think either you're ready or you're not ready.
You mean important things? You mean new plays, Bob?
Well, partly, but I think you got ready a bit last week, and it's the end of the year. I mean, there's not much left to do. You worry about yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I think most of the install, Bob, for both teams came last week. They took Monday, you win the AFC or NFC championship game on Sunday. Monday is spent tickets, travel for the families, figuring out all the logistics. You take Tuesday off, probably Wednesday off, and then Thursday, Friday is the heavy lifting when it comes to game plan, install, etc. Saturday at the facility, just like a quiet day, walk through some meetings, you travel Sunday. But the teams really didn't start practicing here until Wednesday, and you're right. No practice so far has gone over 90 minutes.
Right.
Both teams wanted to practice fast. Both teams wanted to work on what they really do on offense more than anything else. And Shanahan's come out of both days of practice and said Brock looks really good, really dialed in, fired up. And Andy Reid said the same about Mahomes. So yeah, like sure, maybe in the red zone you work on some defensive red zone, you work on some tendencies, but outside of that, it's get in, get out, and let's get ready for Sunday.